In this video, we're going to take a quick and dirty look at a part of Scientology which doesn't receive a lot of attention, even by all Scientologists, but which determines many of the decisions and activities the Church of Scientology engages in, including its abusive harassment and targeting of Scientology critics. What we're going to be looking at is a collection of guidelines and methods Hubbard wrote to teach Scientologists his own brand of logic and reasoning. The actual body of written issues this is based on is called the Data Series. There will be more videos and podcasts in the near future on this subject, which will go into a lot of detail about different aspects of this. The purpose of this video is just to give a short overview and commentary on what this is all about. Over the years, Hubbard wrote or approved thousands of policy letters which direct Scientology organizations on how to run. Some of these issues were centered around the same subject matter, such as how to handle money and banking. These were collected together, put in order, and numbered, and then collectively referred to as the Finance Series. There's a Public Relations Series, Executive Series, Personnel Series, and many others, including the Data Series. These policies focus on the subject of logic, how to do investigations, and how to find the supposed causes of things so that non-optimum situations can be resolved, or optimum situations can be reinforced and made even better. Sounds like a good idea, but like everything Hubbard touched, there are so many hidden twists and turns that if you try to use this information for real, you'll find yourself failing more often than succeeding. The Data Series consists of 51 policy letters. These have become condensed into a chapter of the Scientology Handbook and a small booklet called Investigations. And there's even an online course you can do which walks you through it. According to the course materials, learning how to do investigations Scientology style will teach you three things. To identify what makes something logical or illogical. How to analyze information so you know exactly what to do to correct a situation. And the skills you need to identify the actual reason behind success or failure in any aspect of life. In this video, I'll show you how none of these are true and how trying to apply Hubbard's techniques on logic and investigation will in fact make you stupider and less able to solve the problems you're faced with. The subject of logic can be complicated, but we're going to keep this simple. Even some former Scientologists hold on to the Data Series as useful because they don't understand how actual logic works. Let's break this down. The first false assumption that Hubbard makes is a big one, and in fact, is a key factor in why Scientology organizations run so poorly. In the Investigations booklet, it starts off talking about how people make goals in life, but run into problems turning some of those goals into reality. It says, if such goals are not being attained, or if one is in a situation that is deteriorated or worsened, there is a valid, locatable cause for this. This concept is one people often do not realize. Things are actually caused. They don't just happen. There are reasons behind every situation. Reasons that people themselves can control. Without knowing this, man often relies upon fate, superstition, fortune-telling, or astrology to determine his destiny or future. Many just hope vainly that nothing else will go wrong, or they deceive themselves with the belief that life is ordinarily a struggle. Sure, sometimes people run into problems that may seem like they don't have an easy solution. And sometimes, some clever thinking can help a person figure it out. But to make the broad statement that people can control every problem or circumstance which gets in their way, whether individually or in groups, is asinine. There is very little you can do to prevent being fired from your job as the result of a hostile corporate takeover. There's absolutely nothing you can do except perhaps pray if you're a passenger on a plane that's crashing. And if someone is trying to investigate how to win the lottery, I don't think they're going to find any easy path to untold riches other than crossing their fingers and hoping they select the winning numbers. There are many situations and circumstances where we have no control over what is going on at all. To simply assume otherwise is a recipe for disaster and a setup for great unhappiness. In fact, this kind of absolutist thinking is one of the biggest reasons Scientology fails and ends up losing members. The very top of Scientology's bridge to total freedom promises a state of being where one is cause over life. The idea of being in a position of being able to cause whatever you want in your life is really just an impossible dream. Everyone who pays the small fortune it takes to get to that level realizes that they are not any more in control of the external factors of their life than the day they first walked into a Scientology organization. This is one promise Scientology never delivers on. Hubbard then goes into explaining how to do an investigation by noticing something that makes one curious or that one doesn't understand. Such as if you were doing your laundry and you suddenly smelled something burning. If you investigate the burning smell more closely by, say, opening up the dryer, you might find lint caught on the heating element and could readily resolve it by cleaning it out. That's an easy enough fix. But there are many other circumstances where one simply isn't in a position to do anything about some given circumstance. Hubbard ignores all those situations and hopes you will too.